Okay, now recording is on. You do have chat capability. I have not shut that off, but I will give you a heads up that if you're chatting to what you think is private, and this is like applies to all of your Zoom classes, if you're chatting to another student and you think it's private, it really isn't. If it's being recorded as I'm recording it, then whatever you're saying is actually being recorded as well, whatever you're texting. So just be aware. I know most of you don't do anything terribly bad, but if you're going to say something bad about me, do it that way. I'd rather you not say it in front of my face. It'd be preferable that you just text it, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This is for Accounting 1, CRN 14665. Thank you for attending the Zoom class this morning. This is where we would normally be scheduled to meet anyway, although I know many of you decided to get on to this course only because of other courses being crowded or not enough space or for whatever reason. But many of you were actually planning on coming on and taking this course in a live session. And so because of the pandemic, we're obviously doing this online. Now, in spite of that, I'm doing everything I can to make it so that it is as seamless to you as students as it possibly can be. I mean, we are going online, but usually when I have online courses, I don't worry about providing any instructions or providing any video or anything like that. And so as a result of that, I'm trying to stay in front of the curve here and provide videos for you that would be pretty close to the type of lectures I would give in the classroom. So hopefully, if you need some instruction beyond just what's provided in the textbook or in your readings, hopefully you'd be able to follow along with the videos that I'm posting. Just a brief background on me. Again, my name is Andres Hinojosa. Most people refer to me as Andy. I really don't care how you refer to me, as long as I know that you're talking to me and that you don't add any profanity next to whatever you called me. That'd be very nice. Thank you. I had to shut the door in front just to make sure no noise comes through. So anyway, most people refer to me as Andy, so we're good. I'm actually from Tulare, originally born and raised in Tulare, went to Tulare Western High School, ran off to Los Angeles to go to school, Cal State Northridge. While I was there, I married my wife. We moved back to Tulare back in the 90s, and then I finished my undergrad and graduate degree at Fresno State. Go Bulldogs. See that? You guys got it? My undergrad degree is in business with an emphasis in accounting. My graduate degree is an MBA with an emphasis on information systems. While I was finishing up there, I was working for the city of Sanger as a director of finance. And then I took over as a controllership position in Exeter. And then I decided I wanted to be a CPA. Had to work for a CPA firm, passed the exam, and became certified in 2005. Actually, no, in 2002. And then I started my own practice in 2005. I actually have a small little practice here in downtown Tulare. And it's just made up of about 6 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 of us. So thank God we've been able to stay alive. I went into practice in 2005 and still around. Thank God. Right? We're not too big. Like I said, there's only about 6 of us. So we work hard. We work together. So that's the beauty of a small little business. I've been married now. Personally, I've been married now for, I'm not real good with numbers. 31 years to the same person. Okay, who does that? All right, who does that? I mean, all my friends are like on their third and fourth, and all I got was one. I don't know what happened with that, but anyway, she's put up with me for over 31 years, and I'm still waiting for my get into heaven free card, because my father-in-law told me that if I stayed married to his daughter for more than 20 years, I would get a get into heaven free card. My card hasn't arrived and I'm getting pissed off. I really need the card, right? I really do need the card. So anyway, we have a beautiful little girl. Her name is Sabrina. I say little, but she just graduated this last spring from Fresno State. So she's working to get her credential, and she's hoping to be a elementary school teacher someday soon. And so this pandemic is thrown a little bit of a curve, but she's still working on it. So we'll see how that goes. What else? As far as teaching is concerned, my first gig was with Porterville College back in 2000. And then I've been teaching for University of Phoenix, Fresno Pacific University, DeVry University. I taught some classes at Reilly College. And then I started at COS in 2002. I took just as an adjunct, and then took a couple of semesters off, and then came back as an adjunct again, and then came on as a full-time faculty in 2007. So technically I've been with COS as a full-time faculty since 2007. Most of the classes that I teach are business, but over the last 5 years I've been moving much more to accounting. So anyway, do you have any questions, issues, or concerns about me as your faculty? You guys are good? Okay, so let's get started on what we need to know for this course. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. If you could let me know. If you could let me know or confirm you're actually looking at my screen, I will do that right now. Okay, what you should see is like Windows Explorer with College of the Sequoias. Can you guys see that right now? I'm gonna go ahead and put up, should see the COS portal now. You guys see that okay? Can you give me a thumbs up if you see it? You guys still asleep? Wake up, dudes. Wait, let me make sure there's no girls here. No, there's no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Okay, so the course we're working in is Accounting 1. And that's financial accounting, CRN 14665. I've already posted a number, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's been at least 6 posts that I've already posted. I hope all of you have received all of them. The first one was a welcome, and that essentially was asking you to go through and take a look and see where things are at. I posted this last Monday so that we could get a head start on this. The next thing I posted was the mandatory Zoom meeting, and that's why we're here. I posted a reminder. I posted an availability, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. I did post yesterday also an assistance with books. I don't know, there were a couple of responses to that, so that was good, but apparently there are books that I received an email from the library that they are, I guess through some funding that we received, there are textbooks available that are usually high-cost textbooks, but are available to students for checkout from the library. And so here's what you needed to do. And if you haven't seen this, you need to jump on this. If you need a book for checkout, you need to send an email to me to request a copy of the book. I will then forward, but in that you're going to need to provide to me your student name, banner ID, contact information, and go ahead and provide the CRN and book title so I could just forward it off to her. And it'll be like renting it without having to pay for it. So that'll be kind of good for you guys, so that will save you a couple bucks, especially if you've already set the online. My accounting lab has been all set up and everything, so this will be a supplemental physical textbook that you can use to help you through your studies. So do send me an email if that's something that you require. Okay, so just as a heads up, I do posts and will be posting frequently over the course of the semester. So please be checking your announcements regularly. And in addition to that, all of these announcements should be heading directly to your email. And so keep mindful of that, because if I make changes to either the curriculum or if I give extensions or whatever may happen, I'll be posting it as an announcement. And the quickest way you'll get it is through your email. So if you haven't already set that up, make sure that you have your Canvas set up so that it receives the announcements to your email. Okay, so if we go to the home, this is the first screen that you look at. You'll see that there's a picture of the textbook, so that should make it easier for you to find and make sure you have the correct textbook. If you come to this page, I don't know, it's a little confusing to me. Does anybody want to give me a hint as to somewhere where I might want to click? It's a little tough one here, right? Anybody? I'm confused.
I am assuming the start here.
Oh my goodness, brilliance. I can't imagine that. That's amazing. Thank you for that. So we'll click on the start here. And here's where you have some important information. The first thing is the syllabus. Second is the calendar and accounting resources. We'll go ahead and pull up the syllabus first. Okay, so the syllabus starts off with a little bit of an introduction, just like what I did already. Here is the detail to the materials that you need. The note here is that you don't need or absolutely have to have a physical book. When you register for My Accounting Lab, you can request to get an electronic book. And if you're comfortable with that, that's good. You should just go ahead and use that at no cost. But now with that option now, even if you were comfortable with it, I might consider, normally I would just go with the electronic myself because I'm comfortable with that, but I might consider, since I know that it's essentially free, I might decide to go ahead and pick up one of those books from the library to complement what I do. That in some cases, it actually works a little better to have a physical book in your hand. So the one thing that I do want to also mention to you is that access to My Accounting Lab is embedded in Canvas. This is extraordinarily important. If you do purchase the book and the access code separately from online, the instructions will tell you to go to myaccountinglab.com. That will be incorrect. You will use, and then you'll know that it'll be wrong because after you do that, it'll ask you for a course ID. And there is no course ID for this class. Well, actually there is, but we're not using the course ID. We're not accessing the course ID outside of Canvas. So when you send an email to me asking me what is the course ID, I know immediately that you're not reading my notes. My note says here, a course ID is not required. Use the links in Canvas to access your course. So everything you do will be in Canvas. You will sign up in Canvas. It should be lickety-split. Not true. Most of you have actually done something like this, like maybe My Math Lab or something like that. And so it shouldn't be too far off from what you've seen before. The objectives are listed there. The course contents are really the chapters we're covering. The student learning outcomes are listed as well. You can read through those at your convenience. Let's see, in terms of evaluation, the late assignments will not be accepted. All assignments must be submitted using My Accounting Lab by the due date and time. So I do not give extensions. If I do, it's going to be a class-wide extension, no individual extensions. There's always going to be a circumstance or situation where you have an emergency of some sort, where things beyond your control occur. The examples I'll give you is medical emergencies. The example I will give you that won't qualify is work-related issues. Well, I had a lot of work this week, and it won't work. You cannot use the one thing I'm really sympathetic to is medical emergencies or things that are beyond your control. Now, you better be prepared in case I ask to be able to provide some level of confirmation that in fact did occur. Okay, and you also got to let me know as soon as possible. But even if you think about it, well, just recognize that it's only going to be extraordinary circumstances that will allow you to have an extension. And usually it's going to be family, medical. And when I say medical emergency, it's not just you. If it's family oriented, I get that as well. So just so that you know, you can ask for any reason you'd like, but in most cases, I'm going to say it's not fair because I've already declined similar requests. I mean, any kind of request you can come up, I've already had it. And in most cases, I've denied it unless it's something associated with some medical emergency of sort. Okay, so all assignments are due on time. We'll go into look at the assignments and see what they're about in just a bit. Now, as part of this class, because we are online, we have to find ways of making up for the fact that we're not in a classroom, okay? How do we do that in an online arena? We do that by providing opportunities for all the students to have discussions and interaction, okay? Now, it's not real time, it's virtual, but yet it's still interaction that can occur and allows you to address specific questions that I post, okay? So there are some discussion requirements, all right? Students will be required to participate in weekly online discussions. The online week will begin on Monday at 12 a.m. and end on Sunday at 11:59. So technically our first week started already. It started Monday morning at midnight, or no, at 12:01 or 12, no, midnight. It was 12. That's our first day. So your class already started on Monday. It ends at 11:59 on Sunday evenings. Okay. So just so that you're clear, the class begins at 12 a.m. and ends at 11:59. It's a week long, and that week really takes the place of the class time that we have in a classroom. So that's considered our class time. It's virtual, so it's independent of time and space, but that is our class time. Now, during that class time, you're required to post one reply message that contains 2 well-developed paragraphs and clearly addresses the discussion questions. The instructor will not consider a single sentence, a paragraph, as well-developed. So I'd like you to really take a look at those questions. And I think most of the questions that I provide you would be difficult for you to do that anyway, to just answer in one sentence. So do your best to elaborate, to provide complete, thoughtful messages so that I can see that you've actually done a little bit of study and looked at what your requirements were. After you have posted one reply to the questions, you are then required to post 2 replies to 2 different students. All right, so really we're talking about post two replies to 2 different students. So we're talking a total number of posts of 3. All right. In that post in those replies to students, you are to show evidence of critical thinking and meaningful interaction with the posting, as well as the course resources. You can ask engaging questions or provide insight into the discussions. So I use the term substantive. Both quantity and quality are important considerations when posting substantive messages. For example, I agree is not considered substantive because it does not add anything of substance to the discussion. A single sentence post will not be considered substantive. So if you reply to somebody and you have one sentence and you think you've met your requirements, when I grade you, you're going to be surprised that you will not get credit for that, okay? It's either all or nothing. And when I say all or nothing, it's when you reply to the initial points, students will earn 50% of the weekly discussion points by responding to the initial discussion question. If you do it thoroughly, you will get 50%. If you do not do it thoroughly, you will get 0, all right? So there's no, well, I'm going to give you a partial on this. It's either you make it, you do it, or you don't. And then students will earn 25% of each weekly discussion points, or 25% of the weekly discussion points for each substantive reply to other student posts. Okay, so the same thing, if it's not substantive, you'll get 0 instead of 25%. If you post a substantive message, you'll get 25%. There's no partial credit here. The points for participation will be the easiest points that you can get, because I'm not terribly critical as to what you're actually, the accuracy of what you're posting. I'm much more interested in you demonstrating that you're reading the materials and that you're attempting to grasp the concepts, okay? So 50% for the first reply, and then 25% for each reply afterwards. There's a requirement of 2. That will give you 100% of the participation points. Okay, any questions? Any questions regarding the participation requirements? All right, I'm going to move on. Let's see, food and drink is prohibited while you're doing your work, so there's not going to be any food or drink by your computer while you're working. I've got computer monitors, so you better make sure you don't do that. Okay, what else is important here? No cheating, no plagiarism. Okay, if I detect it, it's going to be a problem. Following the estimated grading schedule, here's what we're looking at. There are 4 exams at 100 points each. There are 15 homework assignments. There are quizzes, there's 12 quizzes, a final exam, and discussions and participation. This is the breakdown of the points. Well, these are each element, and then here's the total, and then the percentage breakdown. So it appears that your exams are really 27%. That's the largest, but it's not overly large in that it's weighted so that it's really the whole class. Discussions are 20%. Right there, that should be something that you should just plan on getting 100% on, because that just takes a little bit of time, okay? Final exam is 13%, and your homework and quizzes, okay? Here is how I will be grading for your final in Canvas. Will show you what percentage you have by the end of the class, or as we're going along from week to week. 90 to 100% will be A, 80 to 89 will be B. I don't use the plus minus system, so this is what we have. Now for this class, because it is a live class, there will be a final exam meeting date and time. I'm not sure that that's correct. It doesn't seem to me to be right because it says 10/10. I think this probably is supposed to be 8/10, but as we get closer to that date, I will confirm. What that means is that we're going to have another live Zoom meeting just for the final exam meeting date and time. But the reality is none of you are going to be required to be there. It will just be me, that I will be there to meet my obligation as a faculty, to be available to all of you for any questions or issues that you may have. But if you've submitted all your homework and if you got everything done and you have no questions, you won't be required to be there. But as we get closer to that, I'll get a better understanding. I'm thinking that date might be right, but I'm thinking that time maybe. So, okay. Any questions about the syllabus? Are we good? Uh-oh, was that a cat? What's the name of the cat?
Dot.
Dot. That's your cat?
It's the wife's cat.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. It's the wife's cat. A likely story. Okay. All right, very good. Let's move on to the course calendar. I'll pull this up. We get started on our assignments immediately. So immediately, chapter 1, we get started immediately, but we do go a little bit slower pace in the first couple of weeks. I've taken chapter 1 and I've broken it up into 2 parts to give us a chance to catch up on anything, get kind of into the rhythm of the way the course is going to work. Your first homework assignments for chapter 1 are due on August 31st. So if we look at our calendar here, they're due in about 2 weeks. I've done that intentionally in the event you have any kind of an issue with setting up My Lab or getting things started, you have a little bit extra time to get things going. But nevertheless, I think you need to get started immediately because all of the discussions and all the posting and everything that we're going through gets us really started into the course immediately. And I will tell you that it's critical that you understand the initial chapters because understanding the first chapters really help you in the future. So the course is not overly complicated, like, this isn't trigonometry or calculus or anything like that. But many students do find it challenging because it's so comprehensive. There's just a lot to learn in what seems to be a relatively short period of time. So you have to get started on it sooner rather than later. Otherwise, if you fall behind, it's difficult to catch up. So even though you have 2 weeks to get your chapter 1 assignment submitted, make sure you get started on it immediately. From then on, with the exception of chapter 6, we cover a chapter every week, all right? Your first exams are going to be due on September 14th. Now, here's what I will also mention to you right now. As the calendar shows, the weeks start on a Monday and end on Sunday, right? This is every week, Monday to Sunday, okay? Now, the homework that's required for the chapter for that week is actually due on the following Monday. So let's pretend we're in week 2. Let's jump to week 2 because that's what makes it. We're on chapter 1. The week ends on August 30th. Now, your discussions have to be posted by August 30th because that's when the course ends. That course ends on that day, 11:59. Okay, period. We're done. However, because I've been doing this for long enough to understand that it's difficult for students to be sending me emails at 9 p.m. on Sunday evening about some technology problem with My Lab. I've kind of learned that it's not real convenient for us to have our assignments due at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday evening. So what I have done is I've made it week 2 ends on August 30th. The assignments are due on the next day, Monday at 4 p.m. So what I'm hopeful for is that if you have technical issues, we give ourselves at least a little bit more time to get it addressed. And it's much easier for me to address an email that comes at me maybe about 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. on Monday morning than it would be at 11:59 on Sunday evening. Okay, so you do have till the following Monday. So for example, week 3, 8:31 to 9:06, the class does end on Sunday, September 6th, but the assignments for chapter 2 are due on 9/7. Now, please don't ask me why your participation ends on Sunday evening, because I'm going to remind you that really everything should be ending on Sunday evening. It's just a convenience that I add to give you so that you extend all the way to the following Monday. So you have to be cognizant of that. I'm helping you out, so to speak, to make it so that your assignments are due the following Monday. All right? You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, it does say again, 10/10. That's interesting. All right. Any questions about the calendar? All right. In addition to the calendar, we have resources for My Accounting Lab. So if you have some technical issues that are occurring on your computer, and if you email me and my reply to you is you'll need to contact Pearson Technical Support, here are the links that you're going to go to, specifically the student support for My Accounting Lab. Okay, so this will get you to a place where they can help you with whatever issues that are occurring with My Lab. Let's see. And then I also posted a Canvas support link that gives you some guides on how to use Canvas. In addition to the guides for Canvas, you also have some links that help you with your Apple phones and Android phones. So there's some links there that'll help you to set some things up. Do you guys have the Canvas app loaded on your phones? Yeah, you do? Okay. If you don't, you might want to look into that. There is an app that you can download for your phone. I don't like it in the context of being able to do work on it, but I mean, it is actually kind of convenient to be able to get in there and kind of look at announcements or look at assignments, or, that way makes it a little convenient when you're sitting around with your phone and you're able to do that. So, let's see. All right, so that goes to the start here. Let's go ahead and go to My Lab and Mastering. Now you will have to sign up for My Lab. I believe it's going to be $100 or about $100. Has anybody done this already? Sign up for My Lab? How much was it, Nick?
It was $100.
And that included the ebook?
I'm not completely sure.
Okay, I think it does include an ebook, so that you have the access plus the ebook, and it's going to be about $100. There's really nothing we can do about getting around the access. You have to have access, just like my math lab. It just has to happen. But anyway, I don't think your screen looks like mine, but you will have a link at the very top that'll say something like Open My Lab Mastering or something like that. And then you click on that and you go in and it'll immediately start asking you to sign in to Pearson, your Pearson account. If you've already got an account, you'll just sign in. If you don't, then you'll make that happen. And then from there, it'll ask you to pay for the class. Now, there will be an option that you will have. It'll be a 2-week temporary access so that you can get started on this immediately. So if you need that, please take advantage of that. But otherwise, please get the access done immediately, because you need that. Any questions about signing up for Pearson My Lab?
I just checked. It did come with the e-textbook.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Now, for those of you who still want to have a physical book, like I mentioned, there was an option, and so I sent all of you. I posted an announcement from what the bookstores providing. So very good.
Actually, when you sent that email out yesterday about the books, I was actually at the library, and I was able just to check one out without the back and forth. Just heads up.
Well, so you didn't even have to go through the email through me at all?
No, because I responded to your email saying, yeah, go ahead. But I happened to be at the library for another book, and so I'd asked, and they checked it out to me. So you have a follow-up email saying scratch the request, because I was able to obtain a copy already.
Oh, well, cool. There you go. I guess it wasn't that big of a deal after all. I thought, okay, I'm going to get this posted out because it looks like there's a little bit of a process to go through, but great. If it's not that big of a deal, then just go and pick it up.
Yeah.
Now, do they take information from you so that you can then turn around and turn it back in?
No, I mean, just standard checkout information, just like any other book.
Very good. It's good to read or good to hear. Any other questions about my lab?
I have a minor question.
Okay.
Okay. When you're going to register for email address, would you rather us using our Bannerite email or our personal?
My preference is everything we do, because we're at COS, is to use, and I always think it in the context that at some point in time, something's going to come up where something went wrong because you used an email outside of your Giant account. So my recommendation is always use your Giant account. Now,
Giant account?
Yeah, your COS Giant account, yeah. Now, having said that, the second thing I want you to make sure you do is that when you're typing in your email address, you type it in correctly. Because I had another student over the summer who actually didn't put the correct email address. They used their Giant COS email address, but instead of COS, they put CIS or something like that. So then when they had questions in my lab, I got links that says, hey, this student has a question. I want to click reply to that message, and it's going to, there's Dot again. It's going to a message, an email that is cis.edu. And so I didn't know it at first. I just got the reply. I typed in my reply, send it off, and it comes back undeliverable. So now I have a student who was trying to get help with the problem, used Ask My Instructor link. The link came to me. I replied to it, but it was going nowhere because the student had entered an incorrect address. So just to be very consistent, I would prefer that you use your COS Giant email accounts, and that you double check that you've got, when you enter it, that it is accurate. Okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we'll go to modules. And much of what we covered already is here as well. At the very top of the modules, you have the start here, the syllabus, the calendar, participation requirements, My Lab resources and registration. We've gone through this. Instructor contact information. Okay, dudes, I'm giving you my cell phone, all right? Do not stalk me after this class, all right? I will call the police. You will get thrown in jail, all right? After this class is done, throw away my cell phone number. You don't want to, it's not cool, okay? Be nice people. All right. So I do also have my schedule posted here, and we'll take a look at it. All right, here's the way this class will work. We meet from 8:10 to 10. I may be bugging out like about 9:45 because I have another class that starts at 10 again, or 10:10, and so I need a little bit of time in between. Although I do have 10 minutes in between. But anyway, if you're not in the course or in this class by about 9:45, then there's a chance I might not be here. But the time is allotted for us, for this class, for me to be here in Zoom, available to you for questions or issues. Now, normally you would say, okay, well, we'll just hold class, but rather than do it that way to make it more convenient, I go ahead and record all the videos for every chapter, and so they're posted in Canvas. So you do have essentially available to you what I would be doing during class time. So you do that at your convenience, and then I am still going to be here as if I'm recording those videos during that time. In fact, I will be recording videos when nobody's around, because I got to keep up. I've only been able to do 3 chapters of videos, and I got to keep in front of you, especially this course, because I have no videos on this course, and so I'm going to be working on videos all semester long to keep ahead of your chapters. Okay, so between 8:10 and 10, our normal meeting class time, I will be here on Zoom. And in addition to that, right after this class, I will be, I have another class. During that time, that's reserved for students in that class. So if you come to me at 10:30 and you have a question about accounting 1, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, you're going to have to, I mean, if there's nobody there and there's nothing going on, I'll probably will address it. But you know, if there's anybody at all in this class with me at accounting 2, you're going to have to take a back seat. So, and then I come online again for you and available to you again on at 12 to 1 for just general. This is anybody can get online and discuss. Now, that's on Tuesday and Thursday. That's always going to work Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Monday and Wednesdays, I am on a general office Zoom meeting between 9 and 10. So between 9 and 10. So this will be another time that you can come in online in Zoom and ask me questions. Now, outside of that time, you certainly can send emails to me. You can call my cell phone, but that's going to be probably the most challenging way of getting a hold of me within a reasonable period of time. So I'm pretty good at responding to emails. Has anybody emailed me here? Have any of you emailed me at all? Oh, Frank, you did. How quickly did I respond to you?
It was fairly quickly.
Okay, fairly quickly. I do have like a 48-hour policy. Usually within 24 hours I will reply. But there are some days that I just decide I'm not touching my email. So if you email me on let's say Monday night at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. and I just got off at Monday night at 8:30 and I decide to take the next day off, Tuesday, and then Wednesday I don't able to get on to the next following evening. But you know, so there is a chance it could be 48 hours. But most cases I'm going to get back to you pretty quick. Okay. Now, having said that, I do want you to, there are I wish I were perfect at this, but there has been on occasion a chance where somebody sends me an email and I click on it, and at that particular time I'm unable to reply to it because it's a little more extensive. I'm always hoping for quick answers that I could just reply and then boom, send it off, right? But in some cases you have a little bit more extensive question and it's going to take me some time. So I'll say, okay, I'm going to get back to that. But I drop the ball and I fail to mark it as unread. So then I go away and then I come back and I'm looking for unread messages to see who I haven't addressed, right? And so when that occurs, it's not very frequent, but when it does, after 48 hours, if you have not received a response back from me, send me another email reminding me that you have already sent an email to me about this 2 days ago, and I will be so mad at myself for not getting back to you on time and not meeting your needs, but I'll do whatever I can to try to make up for it. So it won't happen frequently, but it does happen on occasion, and so when it does, just send me another email and I'll get right on it, okay? All right, any questions about my office hours and time available for you?
I have a question.
Yes.
So on my banner web, it says that I'm supposed to be in this class at 10 a.m., accounting 1, with the same CRN and whatnot. And I've noticed that on your schedules and whatnot, that's showing up there as well. So I'm a bit confused as to like why we're doing scheduling at 8.
Did I get it all screwed up? Counting 1 is at 10:10. All right, well, I screwed it all up. Thanks for telling me now, Nick. That makes a little more sense because I had another student tell me I have to go somewhere else at 10 on my other class. I was like, what? Why would you do that? But, all right. So what I think I screwed up is the Zoom meeting then, right? And then my schedule. So I'll have to fix the schedule. The Zoom meeting, we're already having it. So I'm going to record it so everybody who wasn't able to make it will get here. I'll just confirm those who are here that they don't want to be dropped. So, okay. Sorry about that, Nick, and sorry about that to all of you. This is a class that actually runs 10:10, and that's probably why I had it right on my calendar then. And it probably means that the final exam meeting date is at 10:10, and I just scheduled the Zoom meeting incorrectly, so I apologize. Got you up earlier than you were supposed to be. Wake up, you need to get up anyway. So I'll fix all the calendar stuff. Really doesn't have an impact to us except I screwed up. So I'll fix it. Very good. So yeah, this should read accounting 2 and accounting 1. They should be crossed over. I probably got started on this once and then I just ran with it. So shoot, I'll fix it. Any other questions about what we were talking about or my calendar? All right, let's move on to Canvas support link is there. There's the mandatory meeting that we set up. So these are Zoom meetings. Now, whenever you want to come to me during the normal class time, go ahead and click on General Office Zoom meeting details right here, okay? So you'll click on this to get to me during either my office hours and or during class time, all right? This is the link you will use. General Office Zoom meeting details, okay? The next section shows lecture videos. Chapter 1, 2, and 3 is what I've already posted. I will try to stay ahead of you. Right now you have 2 weeks into chapter 1, so 2, 3, 4, so I'm about 4 weeks ahead of the game with you right now. But you should get more videos posted here and available to you as we move. And then for week 1, we had our mandatory Zoom meeting. We had our introduction thread, which I don't know if any of you have seen. It's not graded, so therefore it's not mandatory, but this will give you a chance to at least get to know everybody. And then week 1 discussions, which this is required, and then your homework for part 1, but that isn't due until August 31st, okay? Now, if you get confused with calendars, there's the calendar that I've posted, and also over here to the side, you have a calendar here as well that should tell you the due dates. The due date should be consistent between my lab, this calendar, and also the calendar posted in Canvas. If you see any discrepancies, any problems, let me know immediately. I wish I were perfect, but I just demonstrated how I screwed up the Zoom meeting time. So if you catch something, let me know immediately so I could try to fix it. Okay. Alrighty then. That's pretty consistent. Module 2 goes into week 2 and we just go from there. Any questions about anything associated with the modules? Okay, as far as the assignments are concerned, I think you should be able to access them directly from here. I think. Yeah, so here are the problems listed here. The other way that I would actually do it if I were you, I would just go into my lab And then you'll have your assignments here, your assignment student links. You'll have My Accounting Live assignments. So I would click on this. And here's what is available to you right now, chapter 1 for part 1 and part 2 and the quiz. All of these are going to be due on August 31st. There is a chapter 0 here that allows you to just kind of get a feel for how MyLab will work, so you can practice there for a little bit. Okay. Are there any questions about MyLab and how they work, how the assignments work? Okay, so we covered everything in modules, assignments, discussions, grades. Anything else? Anything else we need to cover? Are we good? All right, before we sign you out, let me make sure that I got everybody that was here on the roll sheets. Okay, so what I'm going to announce is the people that I haven't marked as here yet. Everybody else that I've already said your names or whatever, then you're probably good. Well, I'll just go through. So I have Ulysses is here, Ian is here, Adam is here, Kansas, Caballero, are you here? I have you marked as not here. Shaila Castaneda, not here. I have Christopher Carrillo is here, Juan Espinosa here, Cameron Fink, I don't see you. Gabriela Garcia, I don't see you as well. Gabriela Garcia. Jacqueline Garcia, I don't see you. Tyler Harris. I do have, or Tyler was here, yeah, Tyler's here. Kashta Hunter, I don't see you anywhere. Nicholas Jimenez. Okay, got your neck. Daisy Julian, I don't have you marked. Brian Martinez, not marked. Frank, I have you marked. Cassandra Miller. Ryan Rocha. Serena Salcido. These are all unmarked. Andrea Sandoval Sanchez. Margaret Webb. And Jacqueline Inegas. All right. Okay, guys, if you have no other questions or issues or concerns, I will see you online. You have my email, contact information. Good luck to all of you. Get started on your homework. Make sure you get MyLab started, and welcome to class. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Don't get that COVID. It's nasty, right? Okay, guys? All right, take care. We'll see you. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting.